It is Tuesday night, and we are live for round number 2 of the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series. Tonight, the Spotta Kosh Communications 125 from the Hickory Motor Speedway. I am Jeff By Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the broadcast booth. And Bill, we had a fantastic opening night in the season. Tons and tons of cars, and they are back again. We got, it looks like about 41 drivers going for just 26 spots in tonight's field.
Yeah, it's going to be another busy night, Jeff. We had one last night. A lot of race cars on the racetrack, and we have another one again tonight. I'm looking forward to it, man. The guy that won the race last week, he's not here tonight, so we're going to have a new winner this season.
Yeah, not only a new winner, but probably a new points leader, because he was leading the points after last week. Not here tonight, and that's going to shake things up at the top of the standings for sure. Kevin Ammon not with us here. Braxton DeWeese sitting second in points, so this is a chance for Braxton to jump his way to the top of the board.
I'm sure he's loving that look, right? Just not seeing the guy that's in front of you. He's not here. That's something he would want to see. But Jeff, we're about to go qualifying quickly, as we have 18 cars that are going to transfer into the main event straight from qualifying.
Yeah, here we go. Qualifying so important. We heard some of these guys in practice how much they were working on their qualifying runs to try to get in the show. They do not want to have to go through these B mains. So what do they want to do? They want to go out on the racetrack, lay down a lap, and put it in the show right now. Wisconsin Weens and Walleyes qualifying, 5 bonus points and $5 on the line for quit time as well. So that is huge if you're trying to chase that championship this season, as cars are on the racetrack.
Got a lot of guys doing some things they shouldn't be doing in qualifying, Jeff, and they get caught for that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, straight away, top of the board, Hunter Harry at 14.092, just a tick off of his practice speed, but that is a solid lap for Hunter Harry at top of the board so far. Zachary Anthony going to go P2. Now Ricky Howell to the top of the board, 14.077 for Ricky Howell, fast time.
James Pileski going to come out onto the racetrack in the number 93 car. A lot of cars putting in times. Cody Barrels out on the racetrack right now in the number 11.
Zachary Anthony tied for second with Hunter Harriet. He's going to be scored third, and it goes an extra digit there. AJ Rogers sitting in the 4th spot. Lee Norton now P5, 14.124 for Lee.
Watching Blake Thronberg take his lap. Peter Fisher's out there as well in the 71.
Mason Johnson to P2, 14.080. Luke Baldwin's going to go P3 with a 14.081. It is tight at the top of the board.
Looks like they're mainly just taking one lap, Jeff. Actually, Blake Thronberg goes P4, 14.087 on his second lap in the 22 car.
That's a heck of a lap there. Thronberg throwing it down. Hunter Harriet's going to get bumped back to 5th. Zach Anthony, running 6th. AJ Rogers 7th. Lee Norton 8th. JJ Chansey 9th. And Josh Cole in the top 10.
Michael Kirchner, his first week with the series in the 156. An old Dale Jr. car, that Budweiser machine. He runs P36 with a 14.363. Usually picks up on his second lap.
It's like Braxton DeWeese, who we said might become the new points leader tonight. He is holding on to the final transfer spot out of qualifying right now.
Kirchner jumps up to P30. Reagan Parents out on the racetrack in the number 17. He just finished his qualifying effort. He'll go up to P7 in the 17, so nice qualifying effort from Reagan.
Yeah, Reagan sitting 3rd in points coming into tonight. Had a solid run last week, was quick time at North Wilkesboro, so backs it up this week. Puts it in the show, which is the main key. Just get it in the race, and Kieran Church going to be the last guy to make it into the race. He gets that 18th and final lock-in spot, and that means, Bill, we're going B-Main Racing.
That was fast.
Ricky Howell going to get the Wisconsin Weens and Walleyes Quick Time Award, $5, 5 bonus points for that qualifying effort. So here we go. B-Main number 1 heading at you. 4 drivers going to move on. Starting on the pole in the 65 machine, it's Aaron Abendroth. On the outside of him in the 71, it's Uncle Peter Fisher.
Bryson Brinkley's going to roll off a P3 in the number 24 machine, and to his outside of number 31. That's Brad Carpenter.
Starting 5th in the 117, it's Tad Douglas on the outside of him, and the Wadsworth Motor Cars Inc. machine, the number 1 of Caleb W. Hill.
Michael Kirchner rolls off P7 in the 156, and to his outside in the number 62, it's Jason Dinsmore.
Starting 9th in the 83, it's Josh Van Gore, and on the outside of him in the number 41, it's Ray Page.
Jarrett Campbell will roll off P11 in the 04, and Del Mears slated to start this race in P12 in the 112. We saw he made the A main last night in the late model shootout series. Hasn't hit the grid just yet, but he's supposed to start shotgun on this B main field.
So I just heard from Dell. He said he wasn't planning on racing tonight. He just meant to come in and watch, and he accidentally joined as a driver, not a spectator. So he's holding up our show a little bit, Del Mears. Zach Owen in the chat cheered for the Revelry Racing boys. Bill, I don't know about you, but I see a Revelry Racing car right there on the front row. Aaron Amadroth in the 65.
That's actually 2 of them on the front row. Aaron Amadroth and Peter Fisher, both Revelry cars.
So we're just waiting for the field to get going.
Peter's Revelry is on the back left. Well, actually, it's on the back quarter panel, Jeff, but down at the bottom there, kind of behind the rear tire.
Oh, there it is. He pulled forward. Now I can see it.
Yeah, now you got it.
There we go. Aaron Amadroth, Peter Fisher going to be on the front row for this B main. We're taking 4 cars to join the 18 already in. We'll have B main number 2 after this one, where another 4 driver is going to have a shot. But some heavy hitters in this one, Bill. Aaron Amadroth been around for a long time, late model shootout series driver. Bryson Brinkley, kind of a newcomer, but we know he's pretty fast. We've seen him a few times here in the Challenger Series. He is quick.
We've talked about it. In both weeks, Jeff. And regardless of how good you've been, how many seasons you've been around, it is hard to make the A mains in either one of our series.
Yeah, we talked about it in the drivers meeting. Just to tell these guys, hey, look, it is so tight. And I know a lot of guys get discouraged and they start driving over their heads because they're so far deep in these fields. But just to make the A main is really a key thing. And so here we go. Green flag is out. Aaron Amadroth going to take an early lead in this one. Bryson Brinkley up the inside of Peter Fisher, going to try to take away second early.
Bryson Brinkley down the back straightaway. Peter Fisher on the outside. They'll go door to door through 3 and 4. Brinkley bouncing through the bumps, gets a little bit sideways, and Peter Fisher will nose ahead as they hit turn 1. Now Brinkley's going to take that spot away from Peter Fisher. Peter's going to drop into P3. The battle is on for the transfer position. It's Brad Carpenter versus Tad Douglas side by side down into turn number 1. P4 is going to be your first transfer. These guys racing for that 4th spot. Still side by side as they enter turn number 1. Tad Douglas can't find it around Brad Carpenter. Usually the inside prevails. Tad starts to do so. Brad Carpenter going to be caught on the outside. Here comes Caleb Hill in the 01 car. He's going to look to try to pick up a spot as well.
Sorry, Bill, had an issue with my my keyboard there. Couldn't get my push to talk, but we are still green flag racing. Is Bryson Brinkley trying to chase down Aaron Amadroth?
Top 4 starting to break away a little bit. Still a battle on for 5th as Caleb Hill is on the inside of Brad Carpenter. Carpenter doing a great job on the outside, but just doesn't have the fast lane. We call the outside here the sucker hole. He gets a little sideways off of turn number 2. Here comes Michael Kirchner in the 156. Now still, well, I feel bad for Brad Carpenter as he continues to slide through the field, and now Jason Dinsmore blinks out, and Carpenter gets to the back of him. That'll bring out a yellow. It looks like in the middle of the corner, the 62 machine, and Dinsmore actually blinked out for just a moment. Brad Carpenter, when he came back, was underneath the 62 car and spins him out. Looked like maybe Dinsmore's having a little bit of a connection issue tonight.
Yeah, not much Brad Carpenter could have done about that. He's coming off the corner, car in front of him blinks out, and as soon as Jason Dinsmore comes back in, he's basically on the hood of the 31, and around he goes. All right, guys, a car, the 62 blinked out and 30 reappeared like right in front of the 31.
Jeff giving us a little preview of what it sounds like to be race control there. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, my mistake.
Jeff does double duty here on the broadcast.
Yeah, I had to switch. We just had a weird keyboard situation, so I had to switch to voice activation instead of push to talk. So you were hearing race control as well on the other end. So here we go. We should be back now.
So we got a good view of our incident as Dinsmore disappeared. You can see that on the replay. So Aaron Abendroth continuing to lead this race.
So you see in the chat, we got a guy named Catamaran Dan, and he is cheering for the 12 car. And I believe that's Tony Quadros in the 12. He is locked into the main event, I believe.
Catamaran Dan reminds me of Stingray Rob, who raced in the IndyCar race this weekend.
That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't even believe they were being serious when they're like, I think it's Stingray Rob. And I'm like, is that some kind of nature show that's racing in a car or something like that? No, it's the guy's name.
So Aaron Abendroth going to be your leader when we go back to green with Bryson Brinkley in second. Peter Fisher runs third. Tad Douglas fourth. Caleb Hall in that fifth spot. He needs one more position if he wants to race in the A-main tonight. Behind him, Michael Kirchner in the 156 machine. Josh Vangnor, Brad Carpenter, Ray Page, Jarrett Campbell, and then Jason Dinsmore looks like he'll slot in right in front of the 31 of Brad Carpenter. Green flag is out. Brinkley got a great restart there. Made a little contact with Aaron Abendroth.
He's going to go around the outside. Brinkley to the lead in this B main. Also had a pass for fourth. Tad Douglas up the racetrack. Wasn't able to hold off Caleb Hill, who goes into the final transfer spot. And here comes Michael Kirchner. Kirchner really couldn't find a tremendous amount of speed in qualifying, but now he's on the move in the 156 up to fifth.
Yeah, Kirchner trying to get there as Tad Douglas fades on the outside, just never could get down in line. And he restarted in that fourth and final transfer spot, and he has fallen well outside of it now.
Now Ray Page.
For the back. Ray Page spinning. No caution. We're going to stay green flag racing right now.
Ray Page went around. He made contact with another car that was towards the back of the field. No yellow as there were no cars in danger. Up front, Bryson Brinkley continues to lead this race. The top four make it the top five and broken away from the rest of the field. Michael Kirchner, he is the last car, and he's going to lose it off of turn number 2. Right in front of Josh Vangnor. Yellow is out. Vangnor might have caught some of the wall. Yeah, it looks like the 83 machine has some damage on the right front, so Kirchner loses it. And Jeff, that was one of those all by myself moments.
Yeah, the 156 goes around there off turn 2.
We still don't have anybody to sing that song. We'll take a look at this replay. As you saw him coming off of turn 2, we had jumped right back to him, went through the bumps, car got a little unsettled, got sideways, got loose. He spun it all the way around and drove it down into the infield to make sure nobody hit him, but unfortunately Vangnor had to take some evasive action and ended up getting in the outside wall coming off of turn number 2. You see Kirchner just spins her around there, Vangnor up into the wall. Unfortunate for the 156 driver. He was really on the move there in the B main.
Yeah, he was trying to get there, and you could see just how hard he was pushing. He was just a couple spots behind that transfer position, trying to find a way into the show, and just overstepped it just a little bit. Now, Bill, on that last restart, the 24, Bryson Brinkley, he beat the leader of Aaron Abendroth to the start-finish line. He's going to get moved back behind Aaron because of that. So Aaron Abendroth going to retake this lead. Bryson Brinkley will be second, Peter Fisher third, Caleb Hall fourth.
Bryson Brinkley going to get a one-spot penalty. Drops back to P2. Probably told, hey, don't do that again.
Yeah, obviously here the leader has control of the restarts, and he needs to be the first one to the start-finish line. Now, Bryson, to his credit, he got out in front of Aaron, and it looked like he was pedaling it, but he did beat him by, about half a car to the line. So the fact that he cleared the 65 going into turn one is going to cause him to have to go back a spot. He's going to have to give that position back. So it'll be Aaron Abendroth, Bryson Brinkley, Peter Fisher, and Caleb W. Hill in your top 4 positions. Looks like we're going to go for a single file restart this time. This pace car is going to head off the racetrack.
Interesting call by iRacing.
That's going to help Caleb Hill, because the last time somebody started on the outside in 4th spot, they fell all the way back to 7th. And right now, Caleb Hill, he's got a nice lead over Josh Van Gore for that final transfer position as we're going to cross the line with 5 to go.
Your top 4 basically breaking away at the moment. Van Gore not able to catch up to Caleb Hill, trying to put pressure. Here comes Tad Douglas to the inside. He's going to make a move on Brad Carpenter. Carpenter's got some damage on the right front of that 31 machine. He might have been the one that made contact. One of the spinning cars earlier.
Yeah, these guys are nowhere near the transfer position, but every spot counts in this B main because we do have a B main championship this season. We're expecting B main.
Carpenter got sideways off the corner. Sorry to interrupt you, Jeff. He got sideways off the corner. He parked the car at the inside of the pit wall there. So Carpenter done for the evening.
2 to go when they cross the line. Aaron Abendroth still out front of Bryson Brinkley, Peter Fisher, and Caleb W. Hill. Remember, top 4 going to move on to the night's feature event in this B main, and this time by, Aaron Abendroth's going to see the white flag.
White flag for Abendroth. One more lap around. Bryson Brinkley second. Peter Fisher, Caleb Hill all locked into the starting A main event. Josh Van Gore, first man on the outside looking in, as Aaron Abendroth's going to come off turn 4 and pick up B main number 1.
Bryson Brinkley second, Peter Fisher third, and Caleb W. Hill going to the A main. Well, Bill, that's going to send us to B main number 2. We're looking for 4 more from the next B main here. Give them a second to get gridded up here. And on the pole for B main number 2 in the 39, it's Scott Negus. On the outside of him in the 09, it's the Joker, Elliot Carlson.
Starting in the 3rd position in the number 46, that's Chad Miller. And to his outside, ran the late model shootout series A main last night, now trying to get into his second A main of the night, or the week, I guess it is. That's the number 5 of John Piet.
Starting 5th tonight in the number 3, it's David Hill. On the outside of him in the 17, it's Josh Oswald.
William Griffith will roll off P7 in the number 12 car, and to his outside in the 88, it's the Professor, Terry Bates.
Starting 9th tonight in the 98 machine, it's Sam Wetstein. On the outside of him in the 03, it's Jason Lottridge.
Cody Verrill's going to start shotgun on the field in that number 11, and 11 cars for 20 laps. 4 going to transfer into the A main event.
Here we go. B main number 2, your last chance to make it into tonight's feature event. 4 drivers going to move on. Scott Negus, Elliot Carlson, Chad Miller, John Piet will start in those 4 transfer positions. But again, some hungry drivers behind them. David Hill back there, Josh Oswald. We saw Terry Bates have a heck of a run at Richmond in the preseason race. He finished 2nd, so look for some speed out of that 98 machine as well.
Green flag is out. Scott Negus getting a good jump. He's going to clear Elliot Carlson. That's going to bring Chad Miller to the inside of Elliot Carlson. Battle for your 2nd spot. Here comes David Hill in the 3 as he's going to look to try to battle Elliot Carlson. Can't do it. First battle on the racetrack. William Griffith and John Piet side by side for 5th.
Yeah, David Hill was able to get to that final transfer spot ahead of John Piet. Piet got stuck on the outside, so here comes William Griffith in the 12 up the inside, trying to take that spot away. He'll be 1 spot out of the transfer.
William Griffith going to take that 5th position in that number 12 car. John Piet in the sucker hole on the outside. That's not the fast way around. Now he's got Josh Oswald on the inside of the 17.
17, Josh Oswald trying to inch forward as well. Piet going to try to get down to the bottom, just not enough room there. They got close through 3 and 4. This whole field is just single file right now. A train kind of stacked up behind Elliot Carlson.
Oswald not able to make the move on Piet. Piet trying to clear, is going to do so down the back straightaway. He'll pull in front of the 17 car. So now we've got a full field of single file racing. Terry Bates having a little bit of an issue off of turn 4. He gets that car rated and going the right way.
That's going to give a little breathing room to Josh Oswald as Bates fell off there just a bit off of this line of cars. The top two, Scott Nagus and Chad Miller, have checked out. The battle is for third as David Hill gets underneath the 09 at Elliott Carlson. And this can put Carlson at risk. If he can't get himself clear of David Hill, it opens up the door for William Griffith here.
Yeah, you want to battle back on the outside, but the reality is you need to get back down to the bottom. And Elliott Carlson does so, and he's going to cross Hill over. No, he doesn't try to take the position back. He'll just fall into fourth. William Griffith gave him a little bit of room there. Here comes John Piet again in the 5. He's gotten back down to the bottom. He's trying to rally.
Yeah, this whole field is stacked up here. These are a lot of cars racing for these final 2 transfer spots as your 2 leaders are gone, have checked out on the rest of the field. David Hill now leads this group in 3rd. Elliott Carlson 4th. William Griffith in that 5th position. Now John Piet runs 6th. Josh Oswald into the 7th spot.
John Piet took a peek underneath William Griffith down the front straightaway that time. Couldn't make the move on the 12 car. He's thinking about it. Needs to make the move because he's got to pick up another spot to transfer into the A main event.
Piet got a little sideways there off turn 4, trying to defend from Josh Oswald. Oswald keeps taking a look underneath the 5 machine, and Piet does not want to get caught on the outside again, so he's going to be very defensive here, but time is starting to tick away. These guys need to get moving. Only 10 laps to go.
Piet not quite to the back of William Griffith. Griffith doesn't at the moment seem to have a lot for Elliott Carlson, as Elliott Carlson's doing a great job. Griffith, though, you can see, Jeff, he is driving the heck out of that number 12 car. That car is walking all over the racetrack as he's trying to find as much speed as he possibly can out of that late model stock.
Yeah, it looks like he lost a little time there. Elliott Carlson was able to gap him by about a car length, and that's the most comfort Elliott Carlson has had in a while here, as he has been under fire from William Griffith for quite a while, but looks like the 12 machine, the front tire is starting to give away, and you can see that thing push on corner exit.
He is pushing hard right now, and up the racetrack he goes. John Piet going to look down to the inside as they enter turn number 1. William Griffith up the racetrack in the 12. Piet almost makes contact with the inside door of the 12 machine. Doesn't do it. Here comes Josh Oswald in the 17. He's along for the ride as well. Griffith in trouble.
Piet will get the spot. He brings Josh Oswald with him, but look how much time that pass cost them to Elliott Carlson. They are a good 5-6 car lengths back now from the final transfer position. Out front, it is all Scott Negus. He has got Chad Miller in tow, but the top 2 have checked out. David Hill now, he is starting to feel some pressure from Elliott Carlson, but again, no reason for these 2 to battle. They have got some a little bit of track distance on the 5 of John Piet, who's now under fire from Josh Oswald.
The only thing where this matters, Jeff, is that B-Main Championship, is these guys not in transfer positions, but Oswald needs to get around the 5 to even have a shot at Elliott Carlson, so that's what he's going to attempt to do as he looks to the inside down into turn number 3.
Oswald's going to try to get there, had to back out of it. The 5 was just there on the inside, but Piet got up the racetrack that time. That's going to open up the door for the 17. Again, they make contact. Now Oswald's going to spin. Caution is going to wave.
That was right at the end of this race, so this is going to throw a monkey wrench in all of this.
And if you're Elliott Carlson, who is running 4th right now, and you see a caution on the last lap of the B main, you have to just be thinking, what did I do? What did I do to deserve this?
Yes, that is 100% true. I'm sure he said, oh, come on. That's what I would say. We'll take a look at that on the replay. It looked like there was just contact between Josh Oswald and John Piet.
Yeah, it looks like Oswald's there on the bottom, and the 5 just in the middle of the corner started to sink down the racetrack a bit. And I think to Oswald's credit, I think he's got so much wheel in it trying to keep it off the 5. That's what spins him out. It was very light contact between the 2.
I think that's just real tight race in there for an attempt at the transfer spot. Scott Negus still leads this field. He was starting to feel some pressure from Chad Miller, and there was quite a bit of a gap back to David Hill in third. Elliot Carlson, we talked about it. He was gone for fourth. That wasn't even going to be a challenge. Now he's in trouble. So he's going to start on the outside. As again, Jeff, it seems like iRacing has gone single file on this one.
Yeah, really strange. We do not control those. We let iRacing handle it, and again, it's chosen single file. So here we go. Scott Negus, Chad Miller, David Hill, Elliot Carlson, and a little bumping and baiting here going as we get going back to green flag racing.
Negus going to lead the field. The battle's going to be for that transfer spot as now William Griffith's going to try to fight around the outside of John Piet. Piet's lost touch with Elliot Carlson. They're going to pick up the white flag this time by.
White flag is out, and Elliot Carlson has got some breathing room for that fourth and final transfer spot. Scott Negus out front. He's got no pressure as Chad Miller has just been content to ride behind him. Off turn 4, Scott Negus going to win the B main, move on to the feature along with Chad Miller, David Hill, and Elliot Carlson.
Really odd that iRacing would choose single file. I think our first yellow, it didn't do that. I was giving these guys a break, especially the guys that were going to be on the outside on that restart.
Yeah, interesting why it chose that. I don't know, but definitely something we've been questioned about, because last night that happened as well. It chose single file restarts, and people were like, "Why is it single file?" And I don't know. iRacing.
Well, the setting is we do have it if there's a quick yellow. They call it a quick yellow, as if you get a caution within the first lap of a restart. You do get a single file restart the next time, but obviously those two restarts, we didn't have that situation, and it still gave us single file restart. So a little bit odd. Maybe a bug, Jeff. There's bugs sometimes.
Yeah, and just to kind of elaborate, as we're under our warm-up here, 2 minutes final session for these guys to get warmed up for the feature event. The reason that we like to let iRacing handle those starts, restarts, the double files, to handle cautions even. We saw that last night where some people were saying, hey, why didn't you throw a caution when there was that big wreck? We don't like to introduce any of our bias into it, right?
Absolutely.
And the best way to do that is to let iRacing handle things, and that makes sure it's fair for everybody. And so as little bias as possible as we can put into it, the more fair the racing is for everyone.
Right, and that's always been our policy for that reason in any series we've ever had. We do not throw manual cautions. So unfortunately, there was a massive wreck last night, and the thought came across both of our minds, hey, there should be a caution here, and there's not. But at the same time, we just allow iRacing to handle that.
Yeah, that's always been our rule, and I was 2 seconds away from breaking it because I was about ready to type that yellow flag, and I was like, this is insane. Why isn't there a yellow flag? And then it looked like everything was okay, and it looked like everybody had got rolling, everything was fine, and then all of a sudden, I think it was Trevor Edwards who was just trying to limp his way back to the pits, was just happened to be in the way of the leaders as they were racing 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and that caught out some of our leaders, caused some mayhem, but again, just want to reiterate, we will never throw, Jeff, let's say this out loud, we will never throw a manual caution.
Yeah. Well, Bill, it is time. The Spotta Kosh Communications 125 laps for the second round of the Challenger Series, the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series. And this is shaping up to be a fantastic season this year. And again, I think we're going to see some fun battles right here in this main event.
Absolutely, it's going to be great. We have a 5-car invert, Jeff. So the car that qualified 5th is actually going to start on tonight's pole. That's going to make for some exciting racing early in this race. Hopefully we see a lot like we did last night where we had a really long green flag run to start the race.
Yeah, absolutely. 65, I think you said, green flag laps to start the race last night.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then the gloves came off, which, it's Hickory. I kind of expect it to happen, but here we go. Starting lineup for tonight's 125-lap feature event. On the pole in the 81 machine, it is Hunter Harriet. On the outside of him in the 22, it's Blake Thronberg.
Starting in the 3rd position in the 7NC machine, it is Luke Baldwin, and to his outside in another 7 car, that's Mason Johnson.
Starting 5th, your quick Wisconsin Weens and Walleyes quick qualifier, the number 5, Ricky Howell Jr. On the outside of him in the number 89 machine, it's Zachary Anthony.
Reagan Parent's going to roll off a 7th position in the number 17, and to his outside another number 17. I think that happened last night too. That's AJ Rogers.
Starting ninth tonight in the 85 machine. New look for that car. That's Lee Norton on the outside of him. One of the drivers doing double duty. It's the 2 car of JJ Chansey.
Starting in the 11th position in the number 12, it's Tony Quadros, and 2 is outside in the number 43. Actually making the number 9. That's Josh Cole.
Starting 13th tonight, a former Challenger Series champion, the 72 of Bladen Edwards on the outside of him. This driver charged from the back to the front last week at North Wilkesboro. It's the number 18 of JP Bergeron.
James Pileski's going to roll off P15 in the number 93, and 2 is outside in the number 16. It's Bryce Fauntleroy.
Starting 17th tonight in the 8 car will be Braxton DeWeese on the outside of him. In the 222, it's Kiernan Church.
Aaron Abendroth, winner of your B main number 1, is going to start P19 in the 65. Scott Negus, B main number 2 winner in the 39. He's going to start P20.
Bryson Brinkley will start 21st in the number 24 machine. On the outside of him in the 46, it'll be Chad Miller.
Peter Fisher rolls off P23 in the number 71. David Hill will start 24th in the number 3.
And then your final starters in tonight's feature event coming from the B mains. It's the number 1 of Caleb W. Hill, and on the outside of him in the 09, the Joker, it'll be Elliot Carlson. Oh, Bill, we got him down from 41 cars to 26 starters in this feature event, and this is a heck of a field. I mean, again, just making it into these feature events has become an accomplishment, and look at this field. This is a stacked Challenger Series field.
And we call it the developmental series, Jeff, but I don't know anything about these guys that are truly developmental. This is a fantastic field of race car drivers, and we're about to be, it's going to be a treat, man. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Hunter Harriet going to start on the front row. We haven't seen much out of Blake Thronberg. I think this is only his 2nd race, so he's going to have himself a nice starting position. We saw him run well at North Wilkesboro last week in his debut of this series, and Blake kind of making a name for himself here.
The excitement ramps up. The engines come up. The song. Everybody packs in tightly. We're about to go green flag racing. Pace car is off. Hunter Harriet going to bring us to the green flag.
Green flag is out for the Spotta Kosh Communications 125. Hunter Harriet out front. Blake Thronberg on the outside of the 7 of, that is Luke Baldwin, sorry.
Luke Baldwin in that number 7. Mason Johnson right there behind him in the other number 7. Ricky Thornton Jr. is going to be to the inside of Mason Johnson. They're going to battle for the 4th spot.
And here comes your quick qualifier. Ricky Howell up the inside of Mason Johnson. Mason going to get to the outside of the racetrack now. And we saw last night the outside was able to hang tough. It was able to hold up the inside line. And right now some of these guys might be saving tires as well as Hunter Harriet starts to open up his lead over Blake Thronberg.
Look back in the pack, Jeff, as we have a lot of cars stuck together. Bladen Edwards right now battling with Josh Cole on the outside. Tony Quadros is in that as well in the 12. Jean-Philippe Bergeron, James Pileski, all these guys slipping and sliding just a little bit. Don't want to waste the tires this early. Only 4 laps into this event. Just want to cruise around for a bit.
Aaron Abendroth is spinning along with the 46 of Chad Miller. I think the 24, Bryson Brinkley, also got a piece of that one as the caution is out here on lap 4.
Well, that didn't take long. Figure out what happened to these drivers. They went into turn number 3.
It looks like just another one of those accordion effects. You see Aaron Abendroth got into the back of Fauntleroy in the 16. And then his car just came to a dead stop.
That's really odd. Down the back straightaway. Oh, Fauntleroy. I think Aaron just kind of missed the corner. It was like kind of went to the outside. Fauntleroy was up the track a little bit.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really weird. Fauntleroy was up the track. He had to check up, and then Aaron like jammed the brakes on and then just never got to the bottom. And that caused Miller just to hit him. One more time from the spotter cam. Everybody just kind of up. That's weird. You guys make your determinations there at home. I can determine that was unfortunate for quite a few drivers.
Yeah, really just another accordion effect there. The 65 got in there, got in the back of someone, and then his car just kind of came to a stop. Nothing Chad Miller could do there. He's just kind of along for the ride as the cars stop in front of him. He's going to lose a lap here trying to do some repairs. Looks like David Hill might have lost a lap as well.
Early in this race, so I think the hope is that you could get it back.
Yeah, definitely. Only one lap down. Still plenty of time. I don't think getting a caution is going to be an issue here. It is Hickory. It is a tight bull ring, and I think some wrecks and some bumping and banging is going to be expected tonight.
Don't say that, Jeff.
I'm just going off of what we saw last night.
We've ever had.
It very well could be. These guys could surprise me tonight. It looked like Chad Miller tried to get back out of the pits. He might have lost another lap to the field there, trying to get some of that damage repaired. So the 46 is going to be 2 laps down.
That makes you mad at your crew chief, right? Your crew chief should be saying, go, go, go. No.
Well, we just hit the Brett Suggs Racing to Market and Restart zone, and now we are back to green flag racing. Somebody didn't get going further back. It looked like JJ Chansey.
And that brought out an immediate yellow.
Yeah, I think we bailed on the yellow because there was a car.
Oh, Caleb Hill just drove into the back of... Who was that? Kiernan Church just got hit by Caleb Hill. I'm not sure what Caleb Hill was doing. We're going green. I have no idea what iRacing is doing tonight.
Well, they delayed the green, and I just don't think the drivers understood what was going on.
I think we had a car stop on the racetrack. So we're back racing, folks. That was really interesting. The pace car did come out, but never picked up the field.
Well, out front, Hunter Harriet leads Blake Thronberg, Luke Baldwin, and Mason Johnson, and that really spread out the field. Ricky Howell runs in the 5th spot. Reagan Parent, 6th. Lee Norton, 7th. AJ Rogers, 8th. JJ Chansey runs 9th, and Zach Anthony now into the top 10.
That really spread out the field. Your top 4 drivers have broken away.
A caution is out. I see Fauntleroy around. That's the 16 machine.
He's around turn 2. Boy, this one's been interesting.
Yeah, it looked like Fauntleroy got some help. That might have been Braxton DeWeese right behind him that got in a little too hot.
DeWeese was on the outside, had a great run last week, and had a podium finish at North of Wilkesboro. Yeah, that time. And I think DeWeese, I hate to say this, I think DeWeese turned a car last week and then drove through the field. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, but I think we had a DOL to DeWeese last week.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Braxton, if I'm wrong, I apologize. You can be mad at me later. But it looks like he just tries to get in line in front of Kieran Church and get in behind Fauntleroy. Fauntleroy just didn't get in the corner all that well. That's the second time Fauntleroy's been hitting in the rear end in this race. That just barely any contact. That turns Fauntleroy around.
Yeah, just got in there a little hot, got him on corner entry, and that definitely just turned him around. But it didn't look like too much damage to anybody. DeWeese is going to go to the rear of the field for causing that caution.
No real contact. I mean, it's not bad. So we'll reset them here as they were spread out after that really. So I think what happened, Jeff, let's try to figure out what happened on that restart. But I think what happened was that there was a car on the racetrack that must have been slow enough that iRacing decided to rethrow the yellow.
Well, we saw Chad Miller coming out of the pits right in front of the field, and it caught him a lap down. So he was trying to drop to the back where it told him to be, and when he stopped on the racetrack, that triggered the caution, and then it was just a delayed 1 lap delay. But I don't think the rest of the field got, only the first 6 cars or so got the message that we were going back to green. We are going back to green this time. Hunter Robbins now out front, and here comes Luke Baldwin. He's going to try to take second from Blake Thronberg right here.
Thronberg up the racetrack in the 22. Thronberg almost got the wall off of turn 2. Here comes Mason Johnson in the 7. Thronberg in that outside lane that is not the fast way around. We've seen it battle back just a little bit, but when you're up front, it is tough to stay there.
Here comes your quick qualifier, Ricky Howell to the inside of Thronberg. He's going to try to take over 4th. Thronberg now under pressure from Lee Norton, the 85 machine, trying to move his way forward as well.
Lee Norton's going to look under Ricky Howell. So Lee Norton on the move in the 85.
Norton is going to the front right now, and here comes Reagan Parent as well. He's going to try to dive underneath Ricky Howell. He's bringing along AJ Rogers, a pair of 17 machines moving forward.
Now, let's not forget, there is tire saving happening in this race, so Howell might be up the racetrack thinking about not burning up those tires. Some guys decide they want track position and move forward. This happens in real life as well.
I tell you what, Hunter Harriet this time has kind of slowed his pace down a bit, and he is starting to get the field stacked up behind him. That's Luke Baldwin in 2nd, Mason Johnson in 3rd. Here comes Lee Norton. We talked about it. Lee was on the move early, and he is diving in underneath the 7. He's going to take 3rd away.
Mason Johnson all over the back bumper of Lee Norton there after Lee Norton took 3rd from him. Didn't make any contact, thank goodness. This racetrack is not a place you want to make contact because of the bumps. As soon as you do it, it's bye-bye, and that car goes around.
Yeah, the field has sorted itself out for the most part. I see one battle going on between Zach Anthony and Tony Quadros. This is back about 14th position. These two are racing hard side by side. Behind them, that's Kieran Church in the 2-2.
There you got Quadros in the 12, Anthony in the 89. Comes Kieran Church in the 22 machine.
Trouble in turn 3. I see Mason Johnson around. And he was running in the 4th spot, so trouble for Mason.
The replay, check out what happened to the 7 car. He went down and it's, and I said it, Jeff. Mason was getting really close to the back end of Lee Norton, and with the bumps, you cannot do that here at Hickory. And sure enough, he turns him around. Just a tiny little bit in that bump in turn 1. We saw that happen just a minute ago with Braxton DeWeese.
Yeah, Lee was able to save it. I think he might at least get to keep his spot. But the caution is going to be on the 7 of Mason Johnson there.
Yeah, I was watching. It just looked like Mason was getting just a little too close for comfort, and that caught Lee Norton out. You can see right there, the 7 gets into the back, Reagan Parent in the back of the 7. Mason Johnson goes around. Ricky Howell got a little bit of that one.
Well, I spoke too soon. I guess Lee Norton did come down pit road, so a lot of damage on the 85. Not going to be able to hold on to that spot. I also see AJ Rogers, who was running in 5th at the time of that caution. He is down on pit road now trying to repair some damage. So that took out quite a few cars right there in our top 10.
Looks like Aaron Avendroth's going to get a lap back. So that'll put him back on the lead lap in the 23rd spot.
So Lee Norton did lose a lap. We do still have 26 cars out there. Chad Miller 4 laps down in the 26th spot. He is still moving along, hoping for some attrition there with the 46 machine. See Avendroth coming down pit road once again. Tough break for some drivers that were looking to have some good runs tonight, right in the top 10 when that wreck happened. We are set to go back to Green Flag Racing with Hunter Harriet, Luke Baldwin, Reagan Parent, Blake Thronberg, Ricky Howell, JP Bergeron, Bladen Edwards, JJ Chansey, James Pileski, and Tony Quadros, your top 10 runners right now. Pace car is off. Hunter Harriet in that BSRM restart zone takes off. That's going to allow Luke Baldwin to get down right in front of Reagan Parent. Your top 3 are single file. Now it's between Ricky Howell and Thronberg back there. Here comes JP Bergeron. He was shot out of a cannon on the outside.
Bergeron finding some speed on the outside of the 18 car. We watched him do it last week, and now we get another yellow.
Bryson Brinkley backwards, the 24 machine.
He's up in turn 2. Hopefully he doesn't back in front of everyone. He's probably going to need a lap back, Jeff.
Yes, he will. He's going to have to get a spot back. We always tell them, if the field is coming, just lock it down, stay put. We'll get you back on the lead lap. And he's just going to let the field roll by.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing of Bryson's doing. There was actually an issue way ahead of him. And it looks like that Josh Cole got into Peter Fisher. That turned Peter Fisher sideways. So we can get a view of that one. There's a whole lot going on. A whole lot going on. So Peter Fisher went into turn number 1. He had to check up in the 22 at Cutie Church. That got Cole into the back end of him. He slides sideways. Those cars are parked down at the bottom. And then Reagan Parent gets in the back of Bryson Brinkley, turning him around. And that brings out the yellow. That was it, Jeff.
Yeah.
Did you get that? Did you get notes on that?
I did. It did. It seemed like a similar issue to the first accident we had when Aaron Amadroth got into the back of somebody, and it was like he was on the brakes so hard, and as soon as he did hit the car and his momentum stopped, he just came to a stop right in the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, just nothing. It's a situation where these cars accordion, there's a lot going on, and if cars check up, the car behind them is probably going to see it, but the car 2 cars behind him is probably not, and then that's where the caution occurs. And that was another situation there. Is Reagan Parent couldn't see the car other than Bryson Brinkley. Brinkley sees the wreck, he slows down, and Parent hits Brinkley, and that's where you get the yellow.
So 4th caution of the night here, lap 39 in this one, and kind of going a different direction than we did last night, which was long green flag run and then some cautions. This one might be going the opposite. Maybe we're going to have some attrition early and then long green flag runs to end it.
Well, these cars do take a tremendous amount of damage, but I don't know if we're going fast enough to really hurt them.
We're down to just 21 on the lead lap. Bryson Brinkley, the last car on the lead lap. You have Lee Norton, Peter Fisher, 1 lap down. AJ Rogers, Josh Cole are 2 laps down. Chad Miller, I believe, just got 1 lap back, so he is down 3 laps down. We're going back green flag racing. That was a quick return to green flag racing. It's Hunter Harriet out front. Luke Baldwin 2nd, Reagan Parent 3rd, and Blake Thronberg 4th.
That was also a single file restart, Jeff.
Yeah, they had not completed a full lap, so we went back to single file that time.
That's the proper way that iRacing is supposed to call it. It wasn't doing that in the B mains, does it in the A main. That's pretty good.
See, 1 car on the move. That is James Pileski. He just went around Bladen Edwards. So move him up into the 7th position. Bladen back a spot. And there goes Pileski. He's going to go right after the 5 of Ricky Howell. He's going to go right around him here.
Braxton Louise just went around Caleb Hill. That's for the 15th spot. Move Pileski up to 6th. He is in the 93.
Battle between the 22 machine as well and the 12 and Tony Quadros further back in the field. But they made a little contact. Now the 22 sideways. It looks like Fauntleroy is spinning.
So we go yellow once again. There was some contact again. And Fauntleroy he is having a tough night in that 16 car. Oh, do not do that. Luke Baldwin wins the award for brake checking. Fauntleroy turned around in front of the field. The leader missed him, and Luke Baldwin was on a collision course with the 16 car, and thank goodness the late model stock can stop.
Well, Fauntleroy, this is the 2nd time I think he's been turned around tonight. And just going into turn 3, he just got some help from behind him. That was Mason Johnson in the 7.
Try to pick up that caution for everyone. I think it's another one, Jeff. Just guys not. Fauntleroy's just following the 3 car of Hill into the corner, and Mason Johnson just goes in there and cleans him out. That's one of those C car don't hit car situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got in there a little too deep, and that's the 2nd caution there for Mason Johnson. So the way our penalty system works, he would have an EOL to start next week, and that's not what you want to do. Especially now, we're still early in this one. If he gets to 3, he would actually sit out a race. So Mason's going to have to be very, very, very cautious right now.
Hopefully one of his crew members or teammates or something is listening to the broadcast and lets him know, hey, man, don't hit anything else.
Yeah, time to get very, very conservative. Just get what you can out of this one and bring her home at this point.
And one more yellow on the 7 car would mean he does not race next week. Well,
and it would be parked.
or the week after, because we're out racing next week.
Yeah, we definitely don't race next week. We do have the holiday, the Easter holiday on Sunday, so we are going to take Monday and Tuesday off. So in case anybody's going out of town to see family, you guys can enjoy your off week, and then we'll be back on the 17th and 18th with the Canadian Legend Cars West 125s from Langley Speedway. And again, we're heading right back to the short tracks. Langley, we haven't been to Langley in a long time, so I'm really interested to see how that plays out, because I remember we've had some really good races there, long green flag runs at that track.
Well, you must have a better memory than I. No, I'm kidding, Jeff. Actually, that should be an interesting race there at Langley. I used to not love that track. I think the last time we went there, we did have a good race, and it was actually really fun, so I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, as we get set to go back into the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing Restart Zone, the 81 of Hunter Harriet has led this whole way. Luke Baldwin going to try to beat him, but right now he's under fire from Reagan Parent in the 17 is Baldwin. He's going to clear Reagan, and they'll run 1, 2, 3. The top four kind of separating themselves. That's JP Bergeron, who's come from deep in this field to get to the front. JP started 14th tonight, now running 4th.
Well, they kind of go single file out front. The middle of this field is a hornet's nest. Kind of starts with Tony Quadros and JJ Chansey here right outside the top 10. You got Scott Negus, one of the B main winners from tonight, B main number 2. He's moving through the field. He's up to the 13th spot. Their cars all over each other here in the middle.
Yeah, you see the 22 up on the top there. He is trying to make some progress. That's JJ Chansey in the 2 machine in front of this group, and now the 22 is going to drop down in front of Negus in the 39. Elliot Carlson going to jump to the top side.
Elliot Carlson looking to go around Negus in that 39 car. Elliot in the 09, we call him the Joker. They look to pick up that spot as they battle for 13th.
Fun battle there in the middle of the field as the front of the field has kind of separated out. They're nice and single file. Everybody just saving some tires right now, and this is where the action starts, right in the middle of the field. These guys are realizing, hey, I'm going to need to get some track position and start moving forward. That's Braxton DeWeese in the 8 machine starting to put the pressure on Elliot Carlson. He'll get to the inside. He's going to try to clear this 09, sorry.
Braxton DeWeese will clear into turns 3 and 4. Put him up into the 14th position. You see Mason Johnson back there in the 7. He's moving right back through the field. We talked about it though, Jeff. I hope somebody told him be careful.
Kieran Church just went around JJ Chansey. Chansey's up the racetrack. That's going to let Scott Negus go. Here comes Braxton DeWeese as well. So either JJ might be saving or he is struggling with that race car. Mason Johnson on the move as well, trying to get around JJ Chansey. Chansey, again, he is falling deep into the field, back into the 14th spot. Battle further up in the field. James Pileski in the 22 machine of Thronberg going at it. Pileski going to take away the 6th spot from Thronberg. Actually make that the 5th spot. James started 15th. He is going for that Hard Charger Award presented by Adobe Mountain Speedway. The guy in front of him as well, JP Bergeron, started 14th. He is up to 4th. So a couple runners right now for the Hard Charger.
Battle in the middle of the field still. Jeff Bryson Wrigley just went on Elliot Carlson. That's for the 17th position. Elliot Carlson was battling right outside the top 10 just a minute ago. He's all the way back to 18th.
Yeah, Elliot was on the outside there, and it just did not work out for him. Started to fade back to through the field a bit, and right now some of these guys maybe just riding. It's hard to tell what the strategy might be at this point in the race. We're closing in, or actually about halfway.
Hunter Harriet continues to lead this race in the 81 car. Luke Baldwin running in 2nd. Reagan Parent 3rd. John Philippe Bergeron, he's in 4th. And James Pileski running 5th.
Pileski is really working the back bumper of the 18 of JP Bergeron, trying to find a way past. It looks like Pileski's got a little bit more speed at this point of the race, but Bergeron being very, very defensive, trying to keep that 93 at bay.
You don't know. You don't know what the strategy is right now, Jeff. Had a lot of caution laps. Leski gonna look to the inside of the straightaway, not able to make the move. Bergeron was wearing those tires out a little bit early as he had to drive through the field, but he did the same thing last week and still had a good car at the end.
Yeah, we've heard different strategies at this point. Last night, we saw a lot of guys moving forward early. Cody Kelly and Alex McCollum, they did not fall back as far in the field as they did the first couple of weeks we saw with this car. So I think guys are starting to get more of a feel for it. They're not necessarily falling back through the field to save tires. They're just staying in good track position and then not sliding the race car. And that seems to be the best way to save tires right now. Chad Miller going to lose a lap there as Hunter Harriet goes by him. Harriet still leads this race. He's led every lap with Luke Baldwin still stalking him in second. Reagan Parent runs third. JP Bergeron fourth. James Pileski fifth. Blake Thronberg sixth. Ricky Howell seventh. Bladen Edwards eighth. Zach Anthony ninth. And Kieran Church into the top 10.
That's some great racing throughout the field. Finally got some of those laps we like, Jeff.
Yeah, this is what we want to see right here. Let the strategy start to play out. Let's see who can manage the tires, who can manage track position, and this is what we want to see. We want to see green flag racing to the end of this one as Pileski still trying to get around JP Bergeron. Gets to the inside. Bergeron's going to give him room, but then Pileski got sideways on corner exit.
Pileski can't make the move off of 4. A little bit of contact. Really tight racing between the 93 and the 18. Pileski slips off the apron through 1 and 2. Bergeron just not giving the 93 a tremendous amount of room. Pileski's not a guy you want to mess with. He has a short fuse.
Well, it does seem like Pileski's a little bit quicker at this point in the race, and he is doing everything he can to try to get around that 18, but JP Bergeron, he might be riding right now, and he might be kind of smiling as he's watching James Pileski maybe tear up his tires trying to get around him right now.
Yeah, JP Bergeron runs in the Pinty series up there in NASCAR in Canada. So he is a savvy race car driver, knows exactly what he's doing. He showed it last week in North Wilkesboro as he finished P2.
Yeah, these guys that are really experienced, they have a way of being able to save their tires while making things as difficult as possible on you and making you burn up your tires. And I think that might be a situation right now. JP Bergeron, he is riding, but he is not going to give anything away. If you're going to pass him, you're going to use up some tire to do it.
Taking a look at our leaders once again. He is starting to see more cars out front as he's starting to catch the back of the field, Jeff. Right now, it's Bryce Fauntleroy.
Yeah, that's going to make the back end of the field a little nervous once they start to see the leader coming up on them. They're going to have to start moving or be at risk of going a lap down as we're working lap 80. There's not going to be a lot of time to fight your way back on the lead lap, so it is time to move if you were at the rear of the field.
Just checking through the field, all these guys, they're going to be in danger here shortly, about 16th through 22nd. They are cars that are going to start seeing the leaders appear in their mirror.
And Luke Baldwin just had a moment off turn 2. He was right on Hunter Harriet, and he tried to get to the bottom of the racetrack, maybe get a run down the back straightaway. Got sideways, and that cost him a ton of time. Hunter Harriet is now starting to pull away. He's about half a second ahead of Luke Baldwin. And now we got a battle for third. JP Bergeron has caught Reagan Parent. He's getting to the inside of the 17 machine. He is bringing along James Pileski and Thronberg as well.
Reagan Parent starting to struggle a little bit in the 17 car. He's going to be falling back. He drops back to 5th. Here comes Thronberg in the 22. Here comes Ricky Howell Jr., Quick Time Award winner. He's moving forward as well. Here comes 72, former Late Model Challenger Series champion. That's Bladen Edwards. He's moving up in this field.
Yeah, Edwards trying to get there as well as Reagan Parent's caught on the outside. Little moment there for JP Bergeron, lost some momentum down the back straightaway coming off turn 2, got a little sideways. He is really feeling the pressure from Pileski. Pileski got into the back of him there. Everybody's going to hold on.
Tight racing right here inside the top 5. And all inside the top 10 as Reagan Parent slips all the way back to that 8th position.
Yeah, this is the battle for third right now between JP Bergeron and James Pileski. Pileski's going to get in the back of him, tries to straighten him out, but Thornburg's going to go around.
So big wreck on the back straightaway. Pileski involved. Thornburg is involved. Let's take a look and see what happened as they came off of turn 2, Jeff. We talked about it. You cannot bump each other on this racetrack because of the bumps at Hickory. You just can't hit the car in front of you. And I think that's what we just saw happen.
Yeah, Pileski got into the 18, starts to spin the 18. I think he gassed it up, tried to straighten him out. But unfortunately for him, they got hooked together. They ended up going into the inside wall. And Blake Thronberg, also the victim in that one, gets turned around.
Yeah, you got to feel for Thronberg as he was just minding his own business in the 22. Right there, you just see Pileski just get into the back. And there it is, the contact. That turns Bergeron around. Bergeron trying to turn right. They're on the grass. Nothing they can do, just bouncing off each other. Ugh. Hate to see it. What racing we were having up there in the top 10.
Yeah, and what a green flag run that we had. And Bill, I tell you what, I think Blake Thronberg is going to get bailed out. We saw him go around. The scoring has moved him all the way back up to 4th. So apparently the caution was out before Thronberg went around.
He got turned by Howell, who couldn't see the wreck. Thronberg's not going to get any damage whatsoever from this. So this will be fantastic. Wow. Cars just not avoiding cars on the racetrack make me nervous. Sorry, Jeff. I was watching a replay. Everybody at home saw it. You did not. When I think it was JJ Chansey when he came around to avoid the 22 car Thronberg, he missed him by a whisker. Just guys not woeing up enough, and Chansey almost got into Thronberg, who had been sitting stationary on the racetrack for about 15 seconds. Wow, what a bailout by iRacing in their scoring. And incredibly enough, Jeff, Ricky Howell's going to be scored in front of Thronberg, so I have no idea. So they scored Thronberg while he was sitting backwards. Now we might have an issue here as Bladen Edwards is debated, or he had driven up into the middle. Get a quick yellow here. I don't think the cars were lined up right. Everybody was a little bit confused. Pace car is going to try to figure this out. Is Thronberg is trying to take his spot back.
Yeah, we're trying to sort that out. He was asking if he got his spot back, and we were saying yes if they were telling you where to be. But if it's telling him to go to the back, then he does not get his spot back.
So we were duped the whole time. So Thronberg was trying to get his spot back, but we don't have the ability to change the scoring on iRacing. So iRacing determines all of that. That way we can never, once again, be accused of playing favorites.
So here we go. Pace car going to head off the racetrack. We are heading into the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing restart zone. Hunter Harriet, Luke Baldwin here. Now lap 96 restart. We're getting deep into this one.
Gloves are going to come off now, Jeff, as late as this race is. I just hope they still continue to play nice because that was some good racing. Bladen Edwards going to use the apron through 3 and 4 to try to gain some advantage. Doesn't find any speed doing that. Ricky Howell on the outside in that 5. He's trying to make a move. Now we've got
22.
Kieran Church went around in turn number 1. That's going to bring out the yellow. I don't know if I saw contact there.
I think there might have been a situation where somebody blinked out right in front of Kieran, and I think he spun the car to avoid the situation.
I don't know. I think he just gets, maybe he gets into the back of Bladen Edwards. He catches the apron. We gotta see if we get a little tighter look on this one. Jeff, I think he just unloads the car. Gets the left front of the apron, that car starts to go around. Right there.
Yeah, Kieran Church goes around there.
From the Stinger Motorsports chopper cam. I don't think there's contact. I think he hits a lot of brake, unloads the car, and is a bit of an all by myself.
That was the 89 Zach Anthony right behind him. He did a great job of just avoiding that one. Got up to the middle of the racetrack and was able to sneak by.
So we're going to set the field with 25 laps remaining. Probably going to be about 24 when we go back to green flag racing. Reagan Parent going to get a lap back. Actually, was that AJ Rogers that went around? That was AJ Rogers that got a lap back. Very similar number 17s. There's like 42 number 17s.
Yeah, a lot of 22s, a lot of 17s in this series.
Apparently, everybody grew up being a Ward Burton and Darrell Waltrip fan. I'm sorry, I just pulled some numbers. I couldn't think of another.
You went Darrell Waltrip on the 17. That's showing some age, isn't it? I was thinking Matt Kenseth. Different generation, I guess.
I guess, yeah, you're right.
Rick Rube hanging out in the chat. Watching the 81 car lead the race. Hunter Harriet, Luke Baldwin going to get double file, ready to go back to green flag racing. We are now within 25 to go. Looks like about 23 when they cross the line. JP Bergeron, Ricky Howe, Bladen Edwards, Reagan Parent, Zach Anthony, Tony Quadros, Braxton DeWeese, Scott Negus, your top 10. BSRM restart zone. Hunter Harriet is off and away again. Has cleared the 7 of Luke Baldwin.
Side by side, John Fleet Bergeron and Luke Baldwin almost made contact through 1 and 2. They clear. Luke Baldwin trying to fight back on the high side.
3 wide further back. Negus is going to go around. Looked like JJ Chansey was 3 wide with them. That's going to bring out a caution as Negus spins.
Well, he was right around the top 10 there in the 39 car.
Yeah, he was running 10th, and he got up way up the racetrack, and JJ Chansey took it 3 wide with actually that was Aaron Avendroth in the 65.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Scott just lifted pretty early there. Just ended up pretty far up the racetrack. Good news is he didn't hit anything really hard.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like you opened up the door there for Chansey. It was... I always hate 3 wide up the middle. I always kind of blame the 3 wide up the middle car.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Were you thinking that was a good idea? Or were you thinking? Sorry. It's kind of my thought. Like, hey, this is never going to end well. Sometimes it does. We had a couple 3 wide situations last night. All fancy stuff happening on the front straightaway. We got guys running the apron trying to cool their tires down.
Well, we don't even know if that works anymore.
We don't. I just think guys are taking it. Or maybe they're just getting out of the way of AJ Rogers, who is... I doubt it. Because it seems pretty drastic.
Yeah, once one guy does it, everybody's going to be like, well, if that works, I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
so.
What's he doing? Wait a minute, I need to do that too. Here we go, everybody at the bottom, everybody go.
We're under caution here. Hunter Harriet, your leader, Luke Baldwin, JP Bergeron, Ricky Howe, Bladen Edwards, Reagan Parent, Zach Anthony, Braxton DeWeese, Tony Quadros. Move Mason Johnson back into the top 10. Mason's been an up and down night here. Been to the back twice, and he has found his way back into the top 10.
And somebody so far has told him, nothing touches the front bumper, Mason.
Hey, keep it clean. And right now, Mason Johnson is doing that, has found his way back up towards the front. I believe we're going to get a single file restart because they didn't complete a lap. Nope, we are going double file. So put Luke Baldwin up on the outside there with Hunter Harriet on the inside.
I think the leaders had gotten back to the line by the time the yellow came out, so that I think they considered a lap complete. So Parker double up.
Parker Traves hanging out of the chat, cheering for JP Bergeron, the French connection. And here we go, pace car off the racetrack. Hunter Harriet back, green flag racing. Luke Baldwin again cannot keep up with the 81 on these restarts. That opens up the door for Bergeron.
Side by side down the back straightaway. Luke Baldwin's going to clear. Here comes Ricky Howell out the outside. A little bit farther back, Zach Anthony. He's going to be the inside of Reagan Parent. They're going to battle. That's a battle for the 6th spot.
Top 5 cars have gotten single file. Zach Anthony now battling caution, is out further back in the field. I'm not sure who went around there. It might have been David Hill in the 3 car.
got nothing. Nobody's on the track.
Yeah, I think it happened with the 3 car. David Hill might have got turned around in the middle of 1 and 2. Looks like he got hooked together with Lee Norton, and then Blake Thronberg kind of finished off the 3 car.
This car must, I mean, it must have, I don't know, I guess it's very quick. Just seems to happen like the cars in front of you slow down and guys, let's take a look at Blake Thronberg's view of that. Yeah, nothing there. Blake can do that. Just sorry, Blake.
I
see it now.
He's running the top. The 2 in front of him get together, and that really just kind of slowed the momentum of the 3 car mid corner.
And bam. So what we're trying to say, what I was trying to say before, Jeff, is things happen quickly in this car.
Tap outs and touchdowns in the Facebook chat. They were looking for the Ravishing one. I believe he's on vacation. He is hanging out in the Facebook
Fort Myers,
chat.
Florida.
Yeah,
if you want to find Rick Rube, he's at a bar in Fort Myers, Florida.
Rick is doing what we would all like to be doing right now.
I gave away his location, Jeff. That's down to like, I don't know, what is that, like 42 square miles.
Yeah. So, it's like Where's Waldo with Rick Rube.
Exactly. He's wearing a Rick Rube t-shirt, I promise. And of course, you know why Tap Outs and Touchdowns is a fan of Rick Rube.
Because it's the wrestling connection,
exactly,
right?
The Ravishing one, yeah. It's not why we did it, or maybe it is. It just sounds right.
Well, here we go. Double file restart once again. Hunter Harriet, Luke Baldwin. Luke Baldwin's had many attempts at it this time. This time, can he keep up with the 81 on these restarts? It looks like Hunter just keeps getting fantastic jumps off the starting line here. This pace car going to head off the racetrack, heading back into the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing restart zone. Harriet's going to take off a little early again. Luke Baldwin just not able to hang to the outside of the 81, and that's going to open up the door for JP Bergeron.
JP Bergeron going to try to get to the inside. Luke Baldwin not able to do so. Luke slips off of turn 2. A little bit too much throttle in the 7NC. Now here comes JP Bergeron to the inside. Bladen Edwards, Ricky Howe, they're there as well. Now Bergeron's going to get sideways.
Scott Negus and David Hill spinning at the rear of the field. That's going to bring out the caution here again. Just trouble right in the back of the field.
And I think we've got another situation, Jeff, where everybody just trying to get everything they possibly can, and it's just an accordion effect. We've got Peter Fisher having issues, and Hill just, well, it's just tough. Peter's Negus is slowing down for Thronberg. Hill doesn't know that's happening, so he's assuming we're just going to go into the corner at the same speed, and take a look from his cockpit. Can't see Peter Fisher slowing down, and bam!
Yeah, there was a 3 wide. I think Peter had to back out of it because they were 3 wide. When he backed out of it, that whole row just kind of came to a stop. And again, David Hill, just at the end of the accordion, he took the hardest part of it because he was the last car in line.
You just can't see. I think we found the limitations of this car, Jeff. It is going to be a problem that you can't see around it. Without true spotters, it's going to be tough. So Hunter Harriet has led this one from flag to flag, continues to lead. We are with inside 5 laps remaining in this race. Luke Baldwin still trying to take that lead in the 7NC. You saw him get sideways off of the corner. Not able to make the move. Bergeron there now in the 18 car. Came off a 2nd place last week at North Wilkesboro. Ricky Howe in the 4. Here's your quick time award winner tonight. Bladen Edwards, former champion of the series. He's in the top 5. So the cream has risen to the top, Jeff, and this one is going to continue to be exciting.
Looks like we're going to have one of those natural green-white checkers. This will not count as one of the 3 that we can have, but Hunter Harriet going to lead them single file this time because they did not complete a lap. Luke Baldwin right behind him. JP Bergeron going to restart 3rd. Hunter Harriet takes the green flag, and he is trying to hold on here in the Spotta Kosh Communications.
We got Quadro sideways on the back straightaway. What was that?
Caution is out.
Tony Quadros was just sideways sitting on the back straightaway. I'm trying to figure out what happened there. That was under yellow. Oh my goodness. You're not even going to believe this. Caleb Hill, for some reason, just jacked Tony Quadros up. Here we go, folks. The 01 car gets underneath the 12 and just shoves him around.
Yeah, that was back straightaway coming to the green. Yeah, that was a little uncalled for. Caleb Hill gonna go to the rear of the field for that contact.
Oh, it's really odd. Caleb just kept. There must have been something. It's like 3 times he hit him.
Well, Bill, it's the short track, right? So we talked about the gloves coming off.
Tempers flaring.
Yeah, tempers are flaring right now.
Of course, we want to give a shout out to our series sponsor, County Road Custom, CountyRoadCustom.com. Take a look if you need any custom artwork from County Road Custom, or if you want one of our really cool custom tumblers. We don't have them, but they have them. You can get your tumbler customized over at CountyRoadCustom.com. Check them out. You know, the guy that helps us out with that sponsorship today, Jeff, took a picture with someone. I was very, very upset. You don't care to, I know you're probably trying to clean up some race control, but he went and did some tours this week of NASCAR race tracks and got his picture taken with Dale Earnhardt Jr., who was at Junior Motorsports today. And yes, I commented on his Facebook page that I hate him for that. I don't really, but he's a good guy. We're about to go green flag racing. Pace car lights are out. This is going to be the try number 1 of overtime. Green, white, checker, Hunter area going to bring us to the green flag. Actually, we get the yellow back out. The lights are back on the pace car. Clearly, we don't have everyone lined up in the proper positions. So who's it going to be? Hunter Harriet, is he going to hang on to it? Is Luke Baldwin going to try to bring home this race? Is JP Bergeron going to find some speed and try to get into victory lane tonight? Or is it going to be a quick time award winner, Mickey Howell?
There we go. Pace car going to head off the racetrack. Hunter Harriet taking us green flag racing with the 7 of Luke Baldwin behind him. Another attempt at a green-white checker finish.
Hunter Harriet down through turns 1 and 2. Nobody challenging. Hunter is gone right now. Luke Baldwin trying to catch up. Everybody single file. White flag is out. Next flag wins it.
Hunter Harriet looking for his first ITZR win out front. Luke Baldwin in tow, but Luke just too far back. About a car length back into turn 3, off turn 4. Hunter Harriet's going to win the Spotta Kosh Communications 125.
Luke Baldwin will come home second. John Philippe Bergeron third. Ricky Howe fourth. Bladen Edwards fifth. Nobody can really do anything with anybody at the end of the race. Luke Baldwin pulling up alongside saying, good job, Hunter, man. Way to go. Flag to flag, Jeff. That's some domination right there. Donuts from your winner.
So Hunter Harriet picks up his very first win, ITZR victory. Bill, crazy racing here. I mean, we talked about it, gloves coming off here, short track racing at Hickory. But Hunter Harriet, he got to the front, or he started on the pole, and he led every lap, and really tire strategy just never came into play tonight because of all the chaos.
Yeah, Hunter is clearly a happy guy. Did about 42 donuts on the front straightaway. Now he's doing the victory lap. He'll bring it around to victory lane. See JP Bergeron parked his car on the front straightaway right into victory lane. The 81 Hunter Harriet, first ever ITZR win. We will try to get him for an interview, right, Jeff? Hopefully he knows how to get here. Some guys that never won before, they don't always know how to get in the booth.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna work on getting Hunter over here. All right, I think we got him. Hunter Harriet comes home with his first ITZR victory, the Spotta Kosh Communications 125. And Hunter, you started on the pole, and it seemed like with all the cautions, everything just kind of went your way there.
Yeah, we qualified fifth, and we got the invert, which is real lucky. I don't if we wouldn't have the invert, I don't know if we would have won this race, but got out there and set a pretty good pace. I wanted to get out from the leader as much as I could, but then ride once I got a pretty good gap in between them. But yeah, I mean, we had a good piece, and the cautions definitely helped. Um, Actually, I ran my fastest lap on the last lap, which is pretty good. But I just want to thank Justin Brooks Design, Cody Kelly. He helped me a lot getting around this place. We were in a test session earlier, and he taught me get around this place, and yeah, pretty nice.
Well, there you go, Jeff. Cody Kelly, we're gonna have to keep him quiet after Monday nights. He's telling guys how to win race after dominating the late model shootout series. But Hunter, was Cody in your ear at any point during the race? I mean, kind of talking strategy with you. You said you were trying to set a certain pace. Was there a lap time you were looking for during the race?
Unfortunately, Cody was not in my ear during the race. He had some
Just
family business to attire, but I mainly just wanted to run like a mid four to a low three and not slide the tires coming off the corner or anywhere around the racetrack. But I mean, with all the cautions, like you said, but that helped a lot with saving tires too.
Well, Hunter, we see how tight these fields are, and you had a great qualifying effort, qualifying fifth. And what is it like the pressure when you get set to qualify for a field like this? When a tenth of a second could be the difference from pole and starting where you were and being in a B main.
Oh, it's crazy. I don't know exactly how close we were. I can't remember, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I was only like not even half a tenth off, and I was third or fifth. Sorry, but I mean they're really stacked fields, and like I said, the invert really had us lucky tonight.
well, the invert's part of the racing, man. That's what happens. So you feel like you got lucky, but you had to do it right to get around the racetrack and cover them all for 125 laps. So great job. But before we let you go, Hunter, we want to give you an opportunity to give a shout out to the guys that help you. You already thanked Cody Kelly. We know you guys have the same sponsor on the hood. Who else do you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Uh, Justin Brooks Design for making this paint scheme, and all my boys that were racing in here tonight: Luke Baldwin, Mason Johnson, just to name a few.
Some pretty good boys, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Hunter, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations. We're going to let you go celebrate first ITZR victory. That's a big one.
Yeah, thank y'all guys for having the series. It was fun.
Great job, Hunter.
Second place finisher joining us, Luke Baldwin in the house. And Luke, we saw you on Monday night. You come back, join Tuesday. You were kind of a late entry. You were on the wait list. You got in. You almost brought it home with the victory. What did you need there just to be able to get around Hunter?
I feel like we just needed some green flag runs. We never could really get that long enough run to where I felt like it was time to go and get ahead until the end. And then at the end, we obviously just had nothing, had no green flag laps, and just never really gave me the opportunity. But I got under him once about halfway through the race, but yellow came out, of course, right when I was under him. But it's all good. He was setting a good pace. I enjoyed riding behind him. I think I got Slug Steakhouse burned into my mind from his back bumper, to be honest with you. But yeah, I just felt like we needed a little more green flag laps.
I don't even know what to say. That was pretty good, Luke. It makes me laugh. But Luke, you missed week number one, and there's a drop week. So is it in the cards that you possibly run for a championship here in Late Model Challenger Series?
Yeah, I mean it definitely is, but I feel like I got more shot at it in here than in the Monday night series. I'm just missing a little bit in there, but I don't know. Real life race season's kind of ramping up right now. We got some things going on, so hopefully I can find the time to make it to every race. And if I can, I would like to, hopefully go for a championship. I mean, it'll be tough with guys like Hunter and everybody else, but yeah, I feel like it's definitely a possibility if we can make it to everyone.
Well, Luke, we like to talk to the guys that are racing in real life about what they're doing. And if you guys were watching Flow at all this winter, you saw Luke down at New Smyrna. And do you want to talk to us a bit about what you're going to be doing this season in the modified?
Yeah, we're gonna do a little more 602 modified stuff, and uh probably not many more. Uh, I'd say 4, 5, 6 more races in that car, and we got some Pro Late Model stuff that we're trying to work out. I ran one race at Hickory a couple weeks ago, but trying to work some more stuff out. Hopefully you'll see me on a bigger stage this year. That's for sure.
I definitely watched a bunch while you were down there, doing really well, man. You did really, really good down there in New Smyrna. I wanted to give you a compliment on that one. But before we let you go, Luke, we know you're a busy guy, but you're running both series. Who do you want to give a shout out to? That gets you to this point, especially with the late model stock. Everybody's new, right? So everybody's talking to somebody, trying to figure out how to get fast in this thing. And obviously, you were fast tonight. So who do you want to give a shout out to tonight that helps you out?
Shout out Hunter Harriet for running a great race, running me clean, and pretty much everybody behind me running me clean. John Philippe Bergeron. I hope I didn't butcher his name, but
I think you nailed it.
He ran me hard in the last couple laps, and I really appreciate racing hard, but not taking it easy on me and not wrecking me. I also got to shout out my mom for funding this season for me. Huge shout out to Mrs. Baldwin. But yeah, I think that's all. Maybe short side support. They're on the hood. They're helping me with a few IRL stuff this year. That's my older brother's company. Elite Performance Industries. I believe that's all. ITZR for putting on a great show.
Well, Luke, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations. Great finish tonight, and hopefully use that drop week and make a run at the championship here.
Yeah, let's hope so. A guy like me, we might have a couple more races that I would wish I could use as my drop week. So, but let's hope we can keep this momentum going.
All right, great job tonight.
Great job, Luke.
Thank you.
Hey Jeff, before we go to JP, I think Luke became the first ITZR competitor to ever thank his mom in the podium interview.
Well, there you go. I mean, she's paying the bills. You got to say thank you.
Yeah, we have two firsts. Hunter Harriet's first win, and Luke thanking his mom, first time ever.
Thanks, Mom.
JP Bergeron joining us. And JP, we got to talk to you last week. 2 podiums in a row. You're probably going to come out of here the points leader. We still got to tally up those points, but you're probably coming out here with points leader. You're off to a fantastic start this season, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I would say decent start, honestly. I wanted really the win bad tonight. I did not practice at all. In fact, Jeff texted me like 5 minutes before the race, "Hey, don't forget to join." And I was like, "Oh shoot, it's already race time." And I mean, I should have practiced a bit more and get a good qualifying run. Messed that up a bit, but still, it came from the back. But it's really hard to save your stuff at Hickory. I mean, I got stuck on the outside almost every restart. Burned my right front a bit. Kind of bite me back at the end, and then got spun for no reason. At least I brought the guy with me, not that I wanted to, but he came with me and got the short end of the stick at the end there. But still, my left front was damaged at the end, so the salvage podium finish, considering everything, is pretty decent.
Well, JP, let's talk about qualifying. You said you didn't have a whole lot of practice. Do you think a good qualifying effort? Both weeks you've come through the field after, we'll call them subpar qualifying efforts, where you're kind of mired in the middle. Do you think a good qualifying effort is kind of the inside track for you to possibly win one of these races?
Yeah, it is, and I tell you what, it's the same thing in real life. I always qualify like junk everywhere. I always come back to the field. That's kind of how I made my name in racing, is coming back through fields. So yeah, I guess I need to work in qualifying trim and make sure I'm good at it. Because of course track position was a big factor tonight, and I think that if I started like top 5 or so, I probably could have sealed the deal.
Well, JP, like you said, you've come through the back of the field a couple times now. There was a lot of chaos in the middle and the back of the field tonight. Is there anything you would tell the rest of the drivers about the patience that they need to get to the front from the back? Because we're seeing a lot of guys kind of run into each other, causing a lot of crashes. Is there any advice you would just give to everybody, to maybe calm the races down a bit?
I mean, we had the race director tell us the same thing at Hickory in real life and in the Act car 3 weeks ago. Hickory's track was really bumpy. The guy in the bottom is going to wash up, but is when you are the guy in the bottom, you know you're going to watch out. You got to watch out. And I feel like guys don't let the race come to them enough, and they really try to get every inch they can instead of just thinking big picture. I mean, these guys got to think championship and where they finish instead of just if they're going to lose a spot or not, because I feel like everyone's racing like it's a green white checkered every lap, and I don't think everyone's really know all the track that good to be able to really run hard every lap, and they don't really know the tire model yet on these cars. It's a new factor for everyone, so I'm thinking that's why the races get pretty heated. So if I had one one advice was leave the race come to you and just be smart, because I feel like with the Cup guys were telling this weekend, the lack of respect on the track and tonight was obvious.
I think that was excellent advice, to be honest.
Yeah,
That
well
was
said.
fantastic. Yeah. Well, JP, before we let you go, man, we had last week you gave a bunch of shout outs to a bunch of people. You can roll off the same list or you can pick some new folks to give thanks to. So who do you want to give a shout out to tonight?
I'll give a shout out to my whole rivalry team on iRacing. We don't talk a lot. I've been distant a bit in the past few months. Haven't been on the sim that much, but I feel like everyone is a good group of guys. Shout out to Jeff and everyone in the In the Zone crew running the series. I feel like everyone's doing a good job, and now it's in the hands of the driver to make sure the show's great.
Well, JP, thanks so much for the kind words, and we appreciate you stopping by again. And looking forward to seeing how the season goes. We keep thinking we're gonna be talking to you a lot this season.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we get a win really quick, though. I'm not a guy that really likes finishing second or third, but I mean, I got to think big picture. Like I said earlier, if I give advice to people, I got to walk the talk. So I
Yeah.
mean, getting podium finishes is the key to get a championship. So I hope we continue on this run.
All right. Thanks so much, JP. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Great job, JP. Good stuff. That was fun
Yeah.
stuff, Jeff.
That was
Those
great.
three of my most favorite interviews we've ever done. That was really good.
Well, Bill, that's a wrap for us for the week, and then we got a week off of ITZR racing. We're gonna enjoy our Easter holiday, but we are not done racing yet. We still have Thursday night, me and you doing the Sim Auto Racing Association Pierce Trailer Supply Super Series. And man, I can't wait to see it. It's open setup. All we got to do is sit back and commentate. I can't wait for that. That's my favorite part of the week.
Yeah, we just get to have a good time. Just talk about the racing that's happening on the racetrack. A lot of the guys are familiar. It's a lot of the guys that race in the late model shootout series or the late model challenger series. So we're going to know a lot of the drivers, a lot of background, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, and we get to run at a different racetrack. Honestly, I don't even know where we are this week. So it's going to be fun to watch, and it's a super series. It's open setup, so it's guys rating, race shops wars and all that good stuff. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for it. This is gonna be a ton of fun. We got a night off.
It's Myrtle Beach, Jeff. It's Myrtle Beach.
Oh, there we go. Right, it's opening up in South Carolina. There you go.
Well, the guys continue to dominate straight out of South Carolina. You know how that
Ooh,
works. So
all right.
let's see if
Now
that
he's
happens
throwing
again on
the
Thursday.
gauntlet.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we will be with you guys on Thursday night. Make sure it's a little bit later start time. I think we're starting around 10 p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m. Eastern. Yep.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. A little bit later start time. We'll have some announcement about it on Thursday about when we're going to be live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitch. We have the week off next week. Monday and Tuesday night, we are off. Enjoy your Easter holiday. We will be back on the 17th and 18th for the Canadian Legend Cars West 125s from the Langley Motors Speedway. So 2 weeks from now. Thank you to everybody that's been participating in this. This has been fantastic. The racing, I know things have gotten heated with these guys, but I mean, that just goes to show how competitive and how tough this league is.
Passion.
I mean, it is making some guys very fiery, but I love it. It's been a ton of fun so far, and you let the penalty system do its work, because it'll start taking care of some of this. But thank you to everybody that's hung out and watched with us. Thank you to all our drivers that have come and chatted with us. We do appreciate it. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks for more In the Zone Racing.